It goes sailing downfield and will go to Malcolm at the 14, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and out of bounds around the 35. Maybe, well, they'll say around the 33-yard line is where he finally went out. So it'll be first down, 10 yards to go, Bearcats at that point. Got to get out of bounds. Shane Woods for the Minden Crimson Tide. So Ruston's first down and 10 to go at their own 33-yard line, just getting the game underway. The opening kickoff has just been made. And that Ruston high-powered offensive unit trots out onto the field, led by number 10, Brad Laird. 50-7 winners last Friday night down in Jonesboro over the number 1 team in AA, the defending AA state champs. Meanwhile, Minden was losing 21-7 at home against Huntington. Ruston is averaging 51 points a game. They're allowing 2.3 points per game. Ruston's total offense per game so far, 449 yards, and they're allowing 104 yards per game. So you can see what we're talking about, a high-powered offense that has shown so far in the first 3 games of the year. They've scored 153 points and allowed only that 1 touchdown following a block punt last Friday night down in Jonesboro. And you heard Coach Childers talk about that. They had a little breakdown in the kicking game last Friday night. But here they come, first down, 10 to go. Finally got everything clicked off, and the ball is on this near hash. Put a slot man to the left side, split John Carr out to that side. Also put a man on the wing and pitch it back to Payne. Payne heads around that left side, out across the 35, up to the 40, around the 42-yard line before he's finally tripped up across the way in front of the Minden bench, and he looks like maybe about a yard short of a first down. Good gain on first down, Rick, getting the ball game underway.
Derek Payne gets the first call of the evening there, the fullback, as he is the 185-pound senior. He ran around the left side behind the pulling guard, number 63, Andrew Jacobs, the 180-pound junior, and picks up about 8 yards on the first carry.
Now they give it to the 41, so it'll be second down, 2 yards to go, following that 8-yard run by Payne on first down. Put a wing to the right side, put a man as a wide out to this side, and flip the pass out here to Malcolm. He's got his first down up to the 45-yard line of the Bearcats, and it'll be first and 10 to go there. Gary Giles and also Sean Eddings on the stop, along with Jim Bob Garland. Ricky sounds like a football player.
Jim Bob Garland, yeah, you kind of want him on a baseball card. Well, Malcolm caught the ball. He did a little bit of a juggling act. Fortunately, he kept it in stride. He pulled it in, so Laird is 1 for 1 on the evening, and the first down for the Bearcats. Coming in tonight's action, they have scored 15 of 17 times on first-half possessions this young season.
From a double wing, the ball on this near hash mark, first and 10 from their own 45. And some are all in motion, and here's a little screen pass set up to Mason, the tight end, to midfield, and to around the 46-yard line of Minden. They'll come up about a yard short of a first down. On that stop for the Minden Crimson Tide, Eric Sipe for the white jerseyed and white pant Minden Crimson Tide. Second down, a yard to go at the 44 of Minden. Ruston moving south to north as we look down on the field. 10 minutes, 20 seconds to play here in this opening period. Just getting it underway from James Stadium. No score in our ball game as the crowd continues to come in on a good-looking Friday night. Looks like the rains will hold off until after game time. Second down, a yard to go. Here they come to the line with a wingman Summerall on this right side. Heads in motion down to the left. Carr split out that way. And give it off to Malcolm. Malcolm's got his first down. A little bit more down near the Minden 40-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 to go for the Bearcats. At that point, Sipe once again on the bottom of the pile for the Crimson Tide.
As we've seen the Bearcats start out every game very methodically, choosing their plays, mixing them up with passes and runs, and successfully getting 2 first downs here in the first half. As the Crimson Tide, once again, Steve Brasher is going to have the problem a lot of teams have had with the Bearcats thus far, not only losing, but going both ways. They have a couple of guys going both ways, offensively and defensively.
9:35 to play here in this opening period. A wing set to this right side. That's Malcolm. Here's a pass out to complete Carr. Carr inside the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. And Gary Giles on the stop for the Crimson Tide. Be about a yard, maybe 2 yards short of a first down at the Minden 34-yard line. Well, 3 yards short. It'll be second down and 3 to go for the Bearcats after a pass completion from Laird to Carr.
Laird's second completion of the evening coming into tonight's game. He was 23 of 39, has not thrown an interception, as you might have heard Coach Childress say, for a 59% accuracy on passing.
Split car to the left side, sends Summerall in motion to that side and give the ball to Malcolm. He's hit in the backfield but spins away, and he's going to be very close to a first down on the carry. Stepfret Williams finally makes the stop for the Minden Crimson Tide. He is down at the 30, and it is first down and 10 to go. Rick, they had him in the backfield but couldn't hang on to him.
They had him there for a loss as one of the offensive guards, defensive guards for Minden broke through and had Malcolm, but Malcolm bounced off and picked up a gain, as we've seen him do so many times this year, just bounce off the would-be tacklers.
Malcolm comes in. He's gained 358 yards on the season so far, averaging over 11 yards a carry. First down and 10 from the Minden 30-yard line. Here they go. Laird rolls back. Laird being rushed, but he gets the pass away. It's almost intercepted, but it's complete, and it's going to be fumbled into the end zone, and the chase is on now for the ball, and who's got it? Touchdown, Ruston has recovered. Well, Rick, that's an unusual one. John Carr on the recovery of the fumble in the end zone for the Bearcats. And at the 9-minute, 10-second mark, it's 6-0. Derek Payne also down. He was the one that caught it and fumbled it.
Payne was the man that caught it as the ball was passed very high, but he picked the ball down. As he was tackled, he fumbled the ball into the end zone, the old Kenny the Snake Stabler play. But John Carr, it was a foot race to pick it up, and he got there first, so it goes for the first score of the evening with 8:10 to play.
Well, Carr was in a race with about 3 Minden Crimson Tide players, but he won out the battle. And here's Metzger's kick. It's up, and it is good. 9 minutes, 10 seconds to go in this first period. It's Ruston 7, Minden nothing. You're listening to Bearcat football. 15 and 14. Now 24. 15 and 24.
Is that 9 or 8-10? Back at James Stadium, first score of the evening. Bearcats are now 16 of 18 attempts this season on scoring as the ball was come. Here's the kickoff from Metzger. We'll get to the scoring drive in a moment.
Goes to the far side to number 24. That's Flournoy. He fumbles it around, finally gets it picked up, and is going to be knocked down around the 24-yard line. So that's where Minden will put it in play. First down and 10 yards to go at their own 24, down by a score of 7-0.
Well, Bob, Ruston scored with John Carr recovering a fumble in the end zone as Metzger put the extra point on the board. 7-0 is our score. That capped off a 67 opening yard drive, 7 plays, 3 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. That pass from Laird to Payne was 30 yards, and the fumble recovery by Carr. 7-0 is our score with Minden on their first offensive possession of the night.
Mike Hill is your quarterback, 185 pounds, and here come the Crimson Tide to the line. They split the left end out this way. That's Stepfret Williams, put a wing on the right. The ball on the far hash bar going against this Ruston defense. It's allowed only 1 touchdown all year, and there is no gain on that carry. I believe that was Kenyon on the carry on the handoff from Mike Hill, and may have lost a yard. Let's see where they marked the ball back at the 24-yard line. So it'll bring up second down and 10 yards to go, right back to the line of scrimmage. That was Damian Flournoy on the carry. Young was in on the stop for the Ruston Bearcats along with Brian Houston. Second down, 10 to go for Minden. Here comes a man in motion to this left side, and Mike Hill, the quarterback, rolls back, shoots a pass upfield. It's going to be way overthrown. Intended for Jim Bob Garland, but goes incomplete over his head. Back defending was Rodney Young and also Charles Green over for that Bearcat defensive unit. Third down, 10 yards to go, 7:20 to play in this opening period. Ruston has taken a 7-0 lead on the opening kickoff and drove it downfield for a touchdown.
Well, the Minden Crimson Tide are coming in against some formidable statistics tonight thus far in the season. The opposition's had the ball 33 times, only gotten it into the end zone once as we go to a third down on Minden's first drive of the night.
At their own 24-yard line, third down and 10. Hill rolls back once again. He's being chased and gets a pass away, but he is lucky to do that as he was being pulled down at the 15-yard line. And let's see, that's number 46 back there for Ruston. Pat Harris was really putting the pressure on Mike Hill, so it's kicking time for Minden. 3 downs and out on the Crimson Tide's first series here tonight against the number 1 team in the state, the Ruston Bearcats. So Rodney Young starts to retreat for Ruston and will wind up back near his own 40-yard line. At the moment, he is the long setback for the Ruston Bearcats. And the Minden punter standing back on his own 10-yard line. And let's see if Ruston puts the rush. So far, they've blocked a couple already this year. And here's the snap, and here comes the rush. And it's almost blocked this time. And he gets a high punt away, and it's going to bounce and take a Ruston bounce back at the 48-yard line of the Crimson Tide. So that's where Ruston will put it in play. First down and 10 yards to go.
Bearcats scored on the first drive, 7-0 to score with 7 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the first period, as we just saw Minden go 3 downs and out, and we're going to see Ruston on their second drive and see how they get this one going here in the first period.
At the Minden 48-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. Brad Laird trotting out on the field. The ball halfway between the two hash marks, 7:05 to play in the opening quarter. Ruston up by a score of 7-0. Here come the Bearcats to the line. Put a wing on this right side. Everyone else in tight on this initial play. This series, and pitch the ball back to, this is Bobby Williams, number 88, the defensive lineman. And Williams gets it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be all as Minden closed down in a hurry. Number 86, the leading tackler, Sean Harrison, along with also, I believe that's Sheldrick Hill for Minden. No gain on the play, second down, and 10 to go for the Bearcats. Bobby Williams and Rodney Young both are in on this offensive series. Rodney Young comes out as a wing to this right side. The ball on this near hash. Malcolm and Williams, the two running backs, behind Brad Laird. Young goes in motion now. Laird gives it off to Malcolm. Malcolm cuts inside, now cuts to this near sideline, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, and going to be out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Well, they had an angle on him that time, Rick, and that's the only way they were able to get him out of bounds at the 20 as Malcolm started left and then cut back across field, came to this near sideline, and down it he went.
It was indeed. The foot race was on, and the defensive person for Minden played it perfectly, as you are. Supposed to run the angle and get him out of bounds. That was Sean Eddings. Eddings angled Malcolm out of bounds, preventing 6 more points on the board. Nonetheless, first down for the Bearcats.
At the Minden 20-yard line, the clock stopped on the out-of-bounds play. 6:19 to play here in the first period. First and 10. Here comes Young in motion to this near side. Give it off to Bobby Williams. Williams driving over that left side and carrying folks with him as he follows the blocks of Siemens and Collier. And gets good yardage inside the 15, down to around the 14-yard line before they finally make the tackle, the Minden Crimson Tide. It'll be second down and 4. Big gain of 6 yards.
Well, Bob, that's got to be a nightmare if you're on defense. You got Siemens at 250, Collier at 230, and they're all blocking for a guy at 225 pounds.
Yes. And you also got about a 195-pounder leading him in the hole, too. So it's second down and 4 yards to go at the Minden 14-yard line. 5:35 to play. And a little wing-back reverse to Rodney Young. Rodney drops the ball and recovers it back outside the 20, around the 21, 22-yard line. Back defending was Sheldrick Hill for the Minden Crimson Tide. So big loss on that as they were trying a wing reverse to Rodney Young, but the handoff just was mishandled.
Never got there. Had it did get there, had it gotten there, Young had a clean side to run on the opposite side of the field for at least a first down, if not a possible score. But the fumble goes down and recovered by the Bearcats. It brings up 3rd and 11.
Ball resting between the two hash marks. Here they come to the line. And Rodney Young set up on the wing, this time to the right side. 3rd down and 11. And Laird drops back, rolls right, looks for a receiver now, going to have to run it, and he's going to be knocked down around the 20-yard line for no gain, maybe a yard. Sean Eddings once again was there to meet him. So, Rick, with a little fumble thrown in, the Minden defense that time played them tough.
Did indeed. Brings up 4th down. We see Metzger coming on now. I know Laird was looking at Coach Childress like, are we going to go for it? But number 15, the kicker, Metzger, coming out for what would be a 40-yard attempt, field goal.
With 4:25 to play, he'll mark the ball at the 27-yard line, so a 37-yard effort coming up here off the foot of Metzger. Out of the hold of Brad Laird. Wait to snap. It's placed. It's going to be a fake, and Laird rolls back. He's got a big rush coming. Now he shoots it into the end zone. Touchdown to Rodney Young. It was a fake, and he found Young, and Laird was being rushed strong, Rick, but he got it away right in the arms of a waiting Rodney Young in the center of the end zone.
Credit Brad Laird for keeping composed back there as he was under tremendous pressure from 3 defenders for Minden Crimson Tide. How he got the ball out, we don't know. He did, but Young also was very well covered there by the secondary of Minden. But nonetheless, it was on a string, got there for another 6 points for the Bearcats.
2 weeks in a row, that outstanding defensive player, Rodney Young, has caught touchdown passes from his quarterback, Laird. Here's the extra point attempt. It's up. It is good. 4:05 to play in the opening period. It's Ruston 14, Minden nothing. You're listening to Bearcat football. Metzger's kick goes to Flournoy, and he is going to be knocked down around the 24-yard line. Kamichi Womack down for the Ruston Bearcats to really put the lick on him along with Michael Thompson. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. Crimson Tide at their own 24-yard line, down by a score of 14-0 now.
Second score for the Bearcats came with Rodney Young on a 20-yard pass from Brad Laird as they did a fake field goal attempt. Michael Metzger came in with the extra point, 14-0. Our score, 48-yard drive, 6 plays, 3 minutes off the clock with 4 minutes and 1 second to play in the first period.
Mike Hill leads them to the line. They split everybody. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers out to this left side. And here's the pass. It's going to fall incomplete. He intended it for number 24, Damian Flournoy. And back defending for Ruston was Chris Young, number 26. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go. 3:57 to play here in this opening period. Ruston up by a 14-0 count now on 2 touchdown passes by quarterback Brad Laird. They haven't got the running game on track, but Rick, so far, Brad's been hot here in this first half.
Having a good hand on the evening. Head coach Steve Brasher from Minden knows what the Bearcats are capable of doing. He's down 2 scores at this point. He wants to get on the board as fast as he can and not let this game get out of hand for the Bearcats.
Once again, they got to spread them out, this time from a double wing. Second down and 10 to go. Here comes the right man in motion to the left, and Mike Hill drops back. But before that, we've got flags down, and plays going to be blown dead before we could get the snap away on that second down and 10-yard play. 3:55 here in this first period, and Ruston up by a score of 14-0. And a 5-yard penalty coming up. It's being stepped off against the Minden Crimson Tide. Moves it back to the 19-yard line. Illegal procedure. Motion against the Crimson Tide from Minden, coming into tonight's action with a record of 1-2. Ruston, of course, undefeated, ranked number 1 in the state.
Well, Bob, you're talking about Laird having a hot night. 5 for 5 thus far in the first period. 70 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Not bad with still almost 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 3:55 showing on the clock.
I didn't even get that my whole football career.
No, are you kidding? Look at this, man. We've got them all over the field, Rick. We've got them 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers to this left side. Here's the pass. It is going to be incomplete. Intended for number 34. That's Andy Collins. And, Rick, you can just look down. You hate to say this, but it could be very well a long night for the Crimson Tide. They just aren't quite gelled, it looks like, for the season yet.
Well, they've been shaken up this week with some of their players leaving school and going for other schools. Steve Brasher has a team that is not only 1-2 and trying to gel, but he's been thrown for a loss with his unit tonight and to be facing the number 1 team in the state in Quad A. He's got a formidable task on his hands tonight.
Well, they've got it third down and 15, and man going in motion to the left. And once again, whistles are going to blow. The play dead. Delay of game against the Minden Crimson Tide. 3:50 to play here in this opening period. And this will bring up the third down and 20. The ball back at the 14-yard line. They've got to go to their own 34, maybe just outside their own 34 for a first down. So a big play's got to be called now from that Minden bench. Mike Hill is the quarterback. It's up to him to get it going. And here they come to the line. They set up a double wing this time with one setback behind Hill. Hill drops back. Big rush coming. Puts a pass downfield. It's going to be incomplete and thrown out of bounds way across the way. Over defending was Michael Thompson, along with Pat Harris for the Ruston Bearcats. So it'll be 4th down and 20 yards to go, and they'll be punting from right near their own goal line, Rick.
Well, talking about Laird's hot night, just conversely, Mike Hill is 0 for 5 on the night, whereas Laird is 5 for 5, and this is the Tide second offensive possession, and this, too, goes 3 and out as we look for the punt from Minden Crimson Tide.
About 2 yards deep in his own end zone. You know, you can blame that all on Hill. He's hit a couple of receivers right in the arms, but they've dropped it. Oh, punt almost blocked once again, and it's sailing downfield, and it's going to roll around, and Minden will dead the ball at their own 43-yard line. So once again, Ruston even in better field position this time than they were last at the Minden 43-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. Bearcats up by a score of 14-0. 3:34 to play here in this opening period. Laird comes onto the field. The ball on this near hash mark at the 43-yard line of the Crimson Tide. Here come the red-clad, red-jerseyed Bearcats with a wing set up to this right side. Carr split out on this right also. And in motion goes Derek Payne to the left. And Laird on a handoff to Summerall. Summerall running hard inside the 40, the 35, down to the 30, maybe to the 29-yard line. Summerall to the Minden 29, first down, and 10 yards to go. Rick, this kid, Todd Summerall, is getting to be more of a handful every Friday night.
Indeed, 215 pounds. Last week we saw him go for a 63-yard run, and tonight with that wingback reverse, a quick pitch. Credit the front line for the Bearcats, Andrew Jacobs, Tim Collier, for opening up the gap on this wingback reverse, and he picks up first down.
And as big as he is, when he gets a full steam, he is really tough to get onto the ground. Laird rolls left. He's being rushed now. Dodges one man, dodges two, comes to this near side, looks for a block. He's inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and I think they'll blow it dead at the 20-yard line. Good make-up play there by Brad Laird before Eddie Harrison finally makes a stop on him. Rick, he was hemmed in a couple of times, couldn't find an open receiver, and finally had to duck and run, picked up 9 yards.
Well, we talk about his passing arm tonight. He used his intelligence there, patiently waited in the pocket. He was flushed out, and he scrambled. A little bit of the old Tarkington, and he picked up 9 yards when he should have been thrown for a loss.
Apparently, Minden came to town tonight looking to stop Payne and Malcolm, and they've let other things get away. Now here's Malcolm heading around the left side. He looks for a block. Now he picks up a little speed, and inside the 15, down near the 10-yard line. He's got plenty of yardage for a first down for the Ruston Bearcats. It will be around the Minden 11-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go, Ruston.
A lot of fun just to watch Malcolm weave in and out of the would-be tacklers. Not only that, the blockers that he has, as Andrew Jacobs led the way for Malcolm. And then we saw him sidestep one of his own blockers just to get through the open hole and pick up the first down for the Bearcats, where they are on the 15.
Also, to see him ease along and then just all of a sudden hit about high gear and turn that speed on.
Warp speed.
Here they come. First down and 10 yards to go at the Minden around the 11-yard line. And flags are down once again. The clock stopped with 1:26 to play. Delay of game this time against the Ruston Bearcats. Well, Minden has had one, and now Ruston picks up a delay of game. So it'll be first down and move the ball back out to around the 16-yard line. First down and 15 to go now for the Bearcats from the Minden 16-yard line. Ruston up by a score of 14-0 if you're just joining us. They took the opening kickoff, carried it downfield, scored, and so far Laird has 2 touchdown passes to his credit tonight. Put a slot man on this right side, and once again, Ruston jumps. That left side of the line was just a little over inches, and this will be another 5-yarder coming up, and we'll move the ball back outside the 20-yard line now to around the 21-yard line of Minden, and it'll be first down and 20 yards to go. Well, Rick, they got to call a big play out of the hat now.
And they probably will do it.
1:05 to play here in this opening period. 14-0. Bearcats on top. Here they come to the line now. First down and 20 yards to go. Slot man to this side. That's Lowry in motion now to the left, and Laird rolls right. Laird's being rushed once again. Gets the pass away. It's going to be incomplete, though. He was trying to hit Brian Mason down around the 9-yard line, but it falls in front of him. And back defending was Step-Fret Williams for the Minden Crimson Tide.
Once again, Laird flushed out of the pocket as he rolled to the right. He looked downfield, and Step-Fret Williams almost had an interception. We have a down man for Minden. Our score is 14-0. We're going to take a break for 30 seconds. You're listening to Bearcat Football. The Minden Crimson Tide got his bell rung. He's up and walking off. Our score is 14-0. Bearcats over the Tide on the night. Malcolm has rushed for 46 yards on 4 carries. Total offense, 146 yards for Ruston, and Minden has 0.
My. And Ruston is taking a timeout with 50 seconds to play here in this first period. Our score, Ruston 14, Minden nothing. You are listening to Bearcat football.
First period, the Bearcats over the Minden Crimson Tide. Brad Laird saw something he didn't like, took a timeout, and he's back out there again as we have second down, ball 20 yards to go.
First down and 20, the ball on the Minden 21-yard line. Laird straight back, trying to set up a little screen pass. He overthrows his... Nope, he got a receiver over there. Well, it looked like for a minute he had overthrown Malcolm, but apparently someone else picked it up. And let's see. 69, Tim Collier got it on a little ricochet off the hand of Malcolm. So Collier, that makes Collier a legal receiver, a 230-pound guard. What if that's the first time he ever carried the ball, Rick?
In all probability, not knowing for a fact, but put Collier in the offensive statistic category now.
Well, let's see. Have we got a flag across the way? We've got the an official talking to the Crimson Tide players, and not real sure. Let's see.
Yeah, Minden wasn't too sure that Malcolm indeed had tipped the ball, but he did. Referee saw it, brings up third down, and matter of fact, Bearcats lost on that play.
Lost a couple of yards, so they were explaining the play to the Crimson Tide players. Third down and 22 yards to go. Showing on the big scoreboard at the north end of the stadium here, back at the 23-yard line of Minden. Third down and 22. Here comes Lowry in motion to the right. Laird rolls to the right. And once again, there's good coverage downfield, and Laird's going to have to try and tug it and run. He gets to maybe the 19-yard line, and that's going to be all before he is knocked to the ground by Eddie Harrison. So, Rick, right now, the Minden Crimson Tide is putting on a very good pass defense, covering those receivers downfield.
Steve Brazier, head coach, has to be very proud as we have just run out of time in the first period. Our score 14-0, Ruston over Minden. You're listening to Bearcat football.
Down for Bearcat. Field goal attempt.
Hurry.
Kick is up.
How far? Where was it? How long was it, Randy? 36.
Michael Metzger.
Michael Metzger has just kicked a 37-yard field goal on a long fourth down play for the Ruston Bearcats, and 11:54 to play here in this second period. Our score now, it's Ruston 17, Minden nothing, and you're listening to Bearcat football. Oh, can't slip. Damian Flournoy takes the kick from Michael Metzger, cuts it back upfield to the left, and is going to be knocked down, actually tripped. He had a clear hole there to gain some huge yardage, but he trips and falls, slips and falls at his own 27-yard line. So that's where Minden will put it in play. First down and 10 to go at their 27, trailing Ruston by a score of 17-0.
Well, Bob, Michael Metzger just kicked a 37-yard field goal. He capped off a 23-yard drive and 7 plays, and it came at 3 minutes. It took 3 minutes and 39 seconds off the clock.
Mike Hill, the quarterback, has him first down and 10. Give it off, and oh, what a lick in the backfield. That's Flournoy, and number 72. We've got a face mask penalty probably. Brian Houston was back there in a hurry to pull him to the ground, but it looks like we've got a penalty coming up against Ruston.
And that will be the penalty will be the third penalty for the Bearcats. Some of the first quarter statistics. Ruston had 8 first down. Minden didn't have any rushes. Bearcats 12 for 80. Minden 1 for nothing. Passing yards 68 yards for Laird in the first period. None for Minden. As Laird was 7 out of 6, and it was Hill 0 out of 5. Time of possession, 10 minutes and 24 seconds for the Bearcats, 1 minute and 36 seconds for Minden.
Well, as you can see, Minden was totally dominated by Ruston in that first period. First down and 10, following a 15-yard penalty to the 42-yard line. Give it to number 42, trying around that left side, gets up to near midfield to the 49-yard line before Rodney Young brings him down. On the carry, that's Shane Woods. Shane Woods on the carry. It'll be second down and about 4 yards to go. Good gain on that first down for the Minden Crimson Tide around the left side at the Crimson Tide 48-yard line.
Other games going on this week. Neville is down in Lake Charles taking on Washington Marion, Sulphur at Washita, West Monroe's in Huntington, and Bastrop at Oak Grove.
And over at Washita tonight, that is Washita's homecoming game for 1990 against Sulphur. Give it to the fullback. This is Flournoy. Not much doing over that left side this time. As, let's see, 71 Jeff Young was there for the Ruston Bearcats. And it'll be third down and a good long three. The ball about halfway between the 48 and 49-yard line on the Minden side of the 50. 10 minutes, 30 seconds to play here in this second quarter. Easing our way on toward halftime. Ruston up by a score of 17-0 over the Crimson Tide here at James Stadium. Once again, another big crowd here on hand tonight. Third down and a long 3 yards to go. Mike Hill, the quarterback. And let's see, he gets it away. Is it going to be a completed pass? And the official downfield says no. It was intended for number 15, Step Brett Williams. So it'll be 4th down and 3 yards. Jeff Williams defending for the Ruston Bearcats. 4th down and 3. The ball at the Minden 49-yard line.
And, Bob, you mentioned homecoming. Pass along. Next week is Ruston's homecoming as the Ritter will become calling here to James Stadium. We invite everybody to go out to Ruston for homecoming 1990.
And this is the first game of a 4-week homestand for the Ruston Bearcats. First time that's happened since 1985. 4 home games in a row. Big rush coming on the punter. He gets it away end over end, and we'll go to Rodney Young at the 15. Young's got blockers around that far sideline. He's going to be driven out of bounds up across the 30-yard line, maybe around the 32. So it'll be 1st down and 10 yards to go. Bearcats will put it in play at that point, up by a score of 17-0 over the Minden Crimson Tide with 9:56 to play here in this second quarter. And we've got a flag back downfield. No, we do not. 1st down and 10 to go. They say he went out of bounds at the 31-yard line of the Bearcats. And Brad Laird and that offensive unit trotting out onto the field and see what they can do now with this Minden Crimson Tide defense, Rick. As we've said one time so far, they're showing good pass defense, covering those receivers very well downfield.
Well, now we might start to see the ground game open up for the Bearcats, if that is the case.
Here they come, and give it off to Malcolm around this left corner. Malcolm's got room to the 40, to the 45, to the 46-yard line. Malcolm, and he is finally drawn down by Stepfront Williams right here in front of the Ruston bench, along with Sean Eddings. 1st down, 10 to go at the Ruston 46-yard line. 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock stopped. No, he didn't get out of bounds. 9 minutes, 30 seconds, and the clock continues to run here in this second quarter.
Give Malcolm just a little bit of room around the corner, and he will take it. And credit Williams on a great tackle. He just threw the cross body right in there and got Malcolm right down.
Ball on this near hash. Put Carr out to this left side. Summerall on the wing to the right. And Laird dropping back. Laird's got... This is Summerall wide open at the Minden 37-yard line, and we've also got a flag on the tackle, so let's see what we've got. Stepfred Williams on the stop, along with Gary Giles for the Crimson Tide, but a flag is down at the point of attack, and a penalty will be coming up against the Minden Crimson Tide to add more yardage for the Bearcats, and they are marching now 5, 10, 15. This is a biggie. It will carry it down to the Minden 22-yard line. Personal foul against the Minden Crimson Tide. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Bearcats at their 22-yard line. Theirs being Minden. 9:03 to play, and the clock starts to move now. And Summerall coming out of the game, and Lowry goes in for this Ruston offensive unit. 17-0. The Bearcats up over the Crimson Tide here early in the second quarter. Put Lowry on a wing to the right, give the ball off to Malcolm. Malcolm cuts outside, looks for running room, cuts the corner over there, and is finally going to be knocked out of bounds across the way. They say he didn't get out of bounds inside the 14 to around the 13-yard line. First, that'll bring up 2nd down. Let's see, way across the way over there, looks like Johnny Edwards on the stop for the Crimson Tide, along with Sean Eddings. Well, Rick, he's just about a half step away from cutting the corner about 3 or 4 different times tonight.
That's right, making the big one, Malcolm is. So once again, the defense of Minden coming in here showing a lot of stinginess. They trail, by the way, 17-0. As they did stall the Bearcats the last time they had the ball, but here come the Bearcats with the assistance of the penalty, knocking on the door.
9:06 to play in the second period. Give the ball off to Payne. Payne to the 10, to the 5. Payne, touchdown. Derek Payne from the 14-yard line of the Crimson Tide. A 14-yard run around this left side for Derek Payne. 7:55 to play here in the second period. It's Ruston 23 and Minden nothing.
It was a foot race around the left side here with Derek Payne and two of Minden's defenders. Payne showed the speed, got in there for the score as he had the wide side of the field to do it. And that puts the Bearcats up now 23-0 with Metzger coming in for the extra point. 7 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the first half. Here's a penalty.
Well, before we can ever get the snap off, the kick up, or anything else, we've got flags all over the field. So now let's see what the problem seems to be. We've got offsides against Minden, so we'll step off a yard and a half against the Minden Crimson Tide, and Ruston will line it up once again, and Metzger this time will kick it from the 9-yard line. Out of the hole to Brad Laird, 23-0. The Bearcats over the Crimson Tide right now, waiting the point, and the kick is up, and it is good. 7:55 to play in the second period. It's Ruston 24 and Minden nothing. You're listening to Bearcat football.
Maybe seconds.
Metzger's kick goes to Flournoy, and Flournoy almost broke it down this near sideline, and he is finally knocked down to the ground around the 32-yard line of Minden. It'll be first down. Well, then put it at the 33. First down and 10 yards to go. Minden Crimson Tide at their own 33, trailing by a score of 24-0.
And Bob, Derek Payne, a 13-yard run. Metzger good for the extra point. 24-0 is the score. That was a 69-yard drive, 5 plays. And 2 minutes and 1 second on the clock thus far on the night. First downs, Bearcats 12, Minden none. Total offense, Bearcats 202, Minden 7. And time of possession, Bearcats 12:30, Minden 3:35.
And we're not to the midway mark of the second quarter yet. Mike Hill fakes a handoff to his fullback, then tries to pull it out and head around the left side. And he's going to be knocked down maybe for a yard loss. Big old Mr. Houston down on the bottom of that pile. Brian Houston, 235 pounds. They say he got back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be second down and 10 yards to go for the Crimson Tide at their own 33-yard line.
Well, you're being very sociable calling a 17-year-old Mr. Houston, but a 235-pound 6-footer, I'll call him Mr. Houston myself.
Very much so. Very much. Second down and 10 yards to go. Wing set to this right side. Left end split out for Mike Hill, the quarterback. Hill's being rushed. Hill looks for a receiver. Now Hill's going to try to run it. Hill puts it under and heads out of bounds across the way up near the 40-yard line. Rodney Young is over there along with Michael Thompson for the Ruston Bearcats. That'll stop the clock at the 7-minute mark, right on the nose. 7 minutes to play here in this second quarter, and we'll bring up third down and about 7 yards to go at the Minden 40-yard line. The ball brought back into that far hash mark.
And once again, it was Mr. Houston that caused Mike Hill to get out of the pocket and then get out of bounds.
Third down and 7 from the Minden 40-yard line. They come to the line, split the left end out to this, right end out to this near side. They've got a double wing set up now. Here comes a man in motion to the right, and Hill rolls this way. Big rush coming on Mike Hill. He shoots a pass downfield. It's going to be incomplete. Once again, that's not Mike Hill's fault, really. He's putting the ball on some of these receivers' fingers, but they just aren't holding. That was Jim Bob Garland who couldn't quite pull it in. And it once again will be fourth down and 7 yards to go. 3 downs and out for the Crimson Tide. Down by a score of 24-0. And Rodney Young will go back to receive another punt off the foot of number 23, Kenyon Cotton, for the Minden Crimson Tide.
And Mike Hill is 0 for 7 on the night, and I agree with you, Bob. It's not all his fault at all. He's getting the ball there. It's the receivers that might be hearing footsteps and not paying attention and concentrating.
6:54 left before half. Blocked the punt once again. This is the third week in a row. Brian Houston came through, and Ruston has blocked another. And Ryan Houston, we just understand, has blocked all 3 of them so far. So, Rick, this is something apparently they've got in their playbook, and they're making good use of it.
They are indeed. A 235-pounder getting through the line very, very quickly, and he picks up his third block punt. Mr. Houston, I like that.
Yeah. You see why you call him Mr. Houston. That's for sure. Well, it's first down and 10 yards to go, Bearcats at the Minden 24-yard line. 6:44 here in this second period. Ruston up 24-0 right now and threatening to add more on the board. And here they come to the line. Let's see, John Carr rushing out of the game, and Lowry heads in. Stacy Lowry for the Ruston Bearcats. And Stacy will set up on a wing to this left side. And we have got a delay of game coming against the Ruston Bearcats as they got a late substitution in and just did not have time to get the formation to the line of scrimmage. So 5 yards will move it back to the 31-yard line of the Crimson Tide. And we'll bring up first down and 15.
Delay a game, no big deal, but, you know, the coaching staff, Chick Childress and the folks don't really like that. It's just a small penalty, but nonetheless, it...
Hey, you know, Rick, that was a 7-yard penalty they just stepped off. Here's Brian Mason on a tight end wing reverse, and he is going to score down the far sideline. Brian Mason taking a end around from this left side, his tight end position, and around the right side he goes, and down the far sideline, it's Ruston 30, Minden nothing.
Brian Mason showing speed as well. A 6'1", 220-pound senior took the end around from his tight end position. As we were just commenting, a 5-yard penalty was stepped off for 7 yards. Nonetheless, that's 2 more for Mason that will go for his statistics.
Yeah, Brian probably was proud of that now. He gets some extra yards on the run. Okay, wait to snap from center, and Metzger will try the point after once again. Here's the snap. It's placed, it's up, it's kicked, it's good. 31-0. The Bearcats over the Crimson Tide. You're listening to Bearcat Football.
31-0 over the Crimson Tide from... I think I can write
Metzger's kick goes sailing downfield to this near side. Picked up at the 15 to the 20 and looking for room, and it's going to be knocked down at the 23-yard line. The Minden player just couldn't quite make up his mind which way to turn, which way to head, and he is decked at the 24-yard line for the Ruston Bearcats. Back to make the stop. It was, let me see here, it will be Chris Winley.
And Brian Mason had a 31-yard run. Metzger good again. 31-0 is our score. Bearcats on top of the Tide. 24-yard drive, only one play. We got a score with Sulphur and Ouachita. Sulphur 14, Ouachita nothing in the middle of the second period.
That's one of the big surprises of the year. I know a huge surprise in Monroe. The folks over there are probably sitting in awe. Hand off to the fullback. No gain. Up the middle, they're trying it for the Minden Crimson Tide. Houston. And also Chuck Mason there for the Ruston Bearcats along with Jeff Young. And also getting up is Terrence Hicks. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go. And you hear that big hand coming up off that score that Rick just gave you. Sulphur 14, Ouachita nothing, middle of the second quarter. And here's the quarterback, drops back to pass once again, shoots an incomplete one downfield. That one came closest to Rodney Young of anyone else. So Mike Hill just can't get untracked here tonight so far in this first half. At least it'll be third down. And let's see, third down and 15 yards to go. The ball back at the 18-yard line. 5:47, the clock stopped on the incomplete pass. And don't forget, of course, you can see this ball game Tuesday night on Ruston Cable Channel 4, starting at 7:30, as you see each and every one of the Ruston Bearcat replays each Tuesday night. Hill drops back once again. Big rush coming. Hill trying to get his pass away. It's complete, but going to be out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Well, Ricky came up with his first completion, and it looked like he had some room to run, but the receiver slipped and fell. That was Shane Woods for Minden.
And it was a desperation pass as Hill was under tremendous pressure from the Crimson Tide. He gets a completion, first one to Shane Woods, who also lost some footing after he received it and went down, bringing up fourth down, and the Tide has to punt once again on the evening.
Rodney Young stands back in deep punt formation, receiving the punt from Kenyon Cotton, and the Bearcats blocked Cotton's last punt attempt. 31-0, 5:37 to play. Here comes the rush once again. This punt almost goes straight up in the air, and it's going to come sailing out of bounds. Oh, this is going to be a very, very short punt off the foot of Cotton. Let's see the official heading back down this sideline, and it'll be around the 33-yard line of Minden. First down and 10 yards to go.
And that was a 11-yard punt.
Well, That's the last thing Minden needed.
I like the officials as they mark it off. They can see that invisible plane as to when the ball crosses, and they know exactly where it happens. They need one of these Cyclops eyes at these.
And of course, when you're in the home stadium and the crowd doesn't believe he's marking the right way, you hear the results. Here's a handoff to number 84. We've got new folks in for Ruston. Number 84 is Ryan Dick. And Michael Thompson is now in at your quarterback, so we may have seen that first unit for the last time tonight for the Ruston Bearcats. And the play goes to the 23-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go for this second unit. Their first offensive play, they pick up a first down. 5:14 to play here in this second quarter. 31-0, the Bearcats over the Minden Crimson Tide. Michael Thompson, your quarterback. Lowry is also in at one running back. We'll get that other number in just a moment. Here's Stacy Lowry over the right side. Lowry got room. Lowry's inside the 20, inside the 15 to around the 13-yard line. Once again, it's going to be close to another Ruston Bearcat first down. Down for Minden was Gary Giles on the stop. It's at the 14, so he'll be about a yard short of his first down. Second down and a yard to go for the Bearcats at the 14 of the Crimson Tide. Ruston up 31-0 over Minden and threatening to add more to it. On a 2nd and 1 play, here they come to the line. Wing set to this left side, right end split out. Give it to the fullback. This is this Lowry? I believe it's Lowry once again. Fumble on the play, and let's see who's got the ball. Minden has recovered. Let's see who gets up off the bottom of it out there. If we can get his number, it is number 15, I believe, isn't it? Stepfret Williams? Yes, it was.
And Lowry was going off left tackle, and as he was tackled, the ball punched out and just went forward another 5 yards into the Minden Crimson Tide. Turnover for the Bearcats at 4 minutes and 22 to play in the first half with a score of 31-0. Cats over the Tide.
Ruston so far now in 3 ball games and a quarter and a half have scored 184 points and allowed only 7 so far this year. Mike Hill, the quarterback, gives it off to the first man through over that left side. Just nothing is over there. He may have gotten to the line of scrimmage back, which is around the 9-yard line. Over for Ruston is Kamichi Womack. It will be second down and 10 yards to go. It was Woods on the carry, by the way, for the Minden Crimson Tide. Second down and 10 yards to go. No gain. The ball still at the Minden 9-yard line. Now let's make it the 8-yard line. Here they come to the line. Split the left end out, put a wing on this right side, and Hill keeps the ball. Hill cuts upfield to the 10-yard line to about the 11-yard line. Bobby Williams was the one who grabbed him around the ankles and drug him to the ground. It'll be third down and a good 8 yards to go. The ball at the 11, around the 11-yard line. Third down closer to possibly to 7 for the Crimson Tide. One of the few times tonight that they have got positive yardage on a play. 3:20, the clock moving here in this second period. 31-0. Bearcats are leading the Minden Crimson Tide. Here they come to the line. The ball on this near hash mark on a third down, long 7 play for Minden. And Mike Hill is going to pitch a little reverse to Stepfret Williams, and Williams is going to be knocked down way back around the goal line, and some of the Ruston players are wanting a safety, but the officials say he's going to be down maybe around the 1-foot line. Boy, Rick, that's about as close as you can get and not get him in the end zone.
It kind of looked that way from here, and you could see the ball probably kissing the goal line as the Bearcat players were looking for the safety, and they thought they had it. If they... Well, they don't have it. They're going to try for it this time because, well, it's going to be 4th and punting with not a lot of room to punt.
Oh, my. Don't you know that Kenyon Cotton's got a lot on his mind right now? Keep in mind, he is standing right at his end zone in line. And if he steps on that line, that will be a safety. He's going to run it, and he's going to be knocked down in the end zone, and that is a safety. He fumbled the snap. And he knew then he'd never get his punt away, so that is a safety. It's Ruston 33, Minden nothing, 2:10 to play here in the second quarter. You're listening to Bearcat football. The Bearcats up, and here's Millsap to kick it off, and it comes to this near side at the 35, to the 40, 45, midfield to the 48-yard line of the Crimson Tide. And who is in? Let's see. That is Livingston, D'Anthony Livingston for the Ruston Bearcats on the return. and he gets them in good field position at the Minden 48-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go, up by a score of 33-0 with exactly 2 minutes to play here in this second period. Here come the Bearcats to the line. Michael Thompson still the quarterback. Number 34 split out to this near side. That is Eric Mayfield. And give the ball away to Lowry. Stacy Lowry, good yardage down near first down yard territory around the 38-yard line. And let's see if he does have it. The official says yes. It's first down and 10 yards to go for the Ruston Bearcats at the 38-yard line of Minden. First down and 10. That stops the clock while they move the chains with 1:45 showing on the clock. Here they come hurriedly to Ruston to the line. Pitch it back to number 36. This is Alphonse Williams. Williams trying to cut the right side to the 35-yard line. Not much more before Gary Giles is there to meet him for the Minden Crimson Tide.
And we didn't see William Alphonse last week, but coming into tonight, he's got 112 yards on the season. We saw Danny Young, the sophomore. Williams also a sophomore. And seeing some action here in the first half with our score 33-0, Cats over the Tide.
Let me apologize. Not Alphonse Williams, to William Alphonse. Okay, it's second down and about 8 yards to go. And Thompson drops back. Thompson shoots a pass downfield. It's complete to the 23-yard line, and a flag also on top of it. It was complete to Eric Mayfield at the Minden 23, and a flag down 2. So let's see, we've got a personal foul, a little extra late hit by the Minden Crimson Tide, and that will add more yardage to the Bearcat cause. 57 seconds to play, and Rick, you can tell by the way these young fellows are doing it out there, this second unit's winning a touchdown.
They are indeed. They have something to prove that being second string does not mean that you're not worthy of being first string, but when you're riding behind some of the talent of the first string of the Bearcats, they want to prove that they, too, can put points on the board.
Well, it looked like they had one just a while ago, but that turnover lost it for them, and now they're trying to get it in before halftime. Thompson rolls out, puts the pass into the end zone. No good. Well, the officials had to wait and see just to double-check for a while down there. Way across the way, it was intended for, who's that, number 30? Is that number 31? Roderick Malcolm. Yep, and Giles back defending for the Minden Crimson Tide. 41 seconds. The clock stopped on the incompletion.
Also back there, I believe it was Sean Eddings that got a hand on it as he was riding the back of Malcolm very, very close, and he got a hand for going for the deflection, so Tide defense holds up.
Second down 10, the ball on this near hash. A little draw play that's going to go inside the 5 to the end zone. Is he in there? Not yet. Oh, to about the 1-foot line on a beautiful draw by the Ruston Bearcats. This second unit, and that went to Danny Young, and Young got it almost there. Was that Young or was it Mayfield on the? It was Young on the carry. Young on the carry. It is first and goal to go at about the 1 foot. Well, Rick, I don't think they're quite that far out, but there's timeout on the field. You're listening to Bearcat football.
With 28 seconds to play in the first half, we just saw Danny Young get the ball right to the goal line. It could be less than 1 foot out as Steve Brasher talking to his Minden Crimson Tide. Here they come back as 28 seconds to play in the first half, 33-0. And we're seeing the second unit. Second string has kind of a negative connotation. Let's call it the second unit.
Second unit, yeah.
For the Bearcats in.
We used to be the second string.
No, I was like the 13th string.
Well, that's true, too, yeah. I just always told everybody I was second string. It made it sound better. Well, it's first and goal to go at any rate from about the 1 foot line. And here's a touchdown by Stacy Lowry. Stacy Lowry carries it in with 22 seconds left on the clock here in this first half. It's Ruston 39 and Minden nothing. Well, Rick, that unit drove it down. They had a turnover on their last drive when it looked like they were fixing to put it in the end zone, but this time they carried it all the way there.
They did indeed. Let's go through some of the linemen we see out there. Brian Kent, Larry Allen, David French, and Wes Clark on that second unit of the Bearcats.
Metzger will attempt the point after to make it 40-0 for the Bearcats. Waiting the snap. It's placed. It's up. It is good. As they come back up the field, 22 seconds to play before the half. It's Ruston 40, Minden nothing. You're listening to Bearcat football. So Ruston K goes to the 25-yard line. And here come the Minden Crimson Tide. Collins on the reception, and he is back out across the 30 to around the 31-yard line. So 15 seconds to play before half. Ruston 40, Minden nothing.
And Bob Stacy Lowry just went over from the 1. And Metzger with his extra point on the evening. He's perfect on the night. 48-yard drive. That was 7 plays and took a minute 48 seconds. After the safety and the free kick, we have an injured player down. You're listening to Bearcat football. At Williams going both ways tonight, and obviously a little bit fatigued. 40-0 to score. 15 seconds to play in the first period. Bearcats on top.
Here they come to the line. Mike Hill still in at quarterback. The ball at the 33 of Minden. First down and 10 to go with 15 seconds left in this first half. And Hill wants to take no chance. He takes a snap, backs up 2 steps, and drops to a knee to let this first half run out. And they want to get to the dressing room and see if they can figure out something they can possibly do to dent the Ruston defense or to hold that Ruston offense. But there goes the clock down to all zeros, and that's the end of the first half here at James Stadium tonight. And it has been all Ruston. Our score at halftime, Ruston 40 and Minden nothing. We'll be back with halftime activities coming up shortly, but right now, let's take a break for 60 seconds. You're listening to Bearcat Football.
He had 15 sophomores last year and a lot of juniors this year.
And here's Metzger's kick. It goes to the 20, and it's fumbled around, picked up by Sepret Williams. Williams trying to head it back upfield, and it's going to be knocked down around the Minden 28-yard line. So that's where the Crimson Tide will put it in play at the 28-yard line. Sepret Williams on the return. On that stop for Ruston was Rowdy Yates. So the Crimson Tide, down by a score of 40-0 at halftime, puts it in play. First down and 10 yards to go from their 38-yard line. 40-0. The Bearcats on top of the Minden Crimson Tide. And a big upset brewing over in Monroe right now. We'll try to keep you up with that score as close as we can. 14-7, Sulphur over Ouachita starting the third quarter. Here is Mike Hill, and Hill is going to be penalized for intentional grounding as he was being brought to the ground by Bobby Williams back around the 15-yard line. So a big penalty will be assessed against the Crimson Tide. And, Rick, that's not what they wanted to start the third period.
Not at all. You know, it's a frustrating night for Mike Hill as we're watching the clock tick by as well. Mike Hill in the grass with Bobby Williams, and he just threw the ball away, and that will be a penalty stepped off against the Crimson Tide, bringing second down and a mile.
So we're going to be through here, Rick, in 24 minutes, apparently. So this is the situation that occurred last year over in Minden, where Ruston won by a score of 37-0 and leading 40-0 at halftime. Apparently they're going to let the clock run in this second half and get this game over as quickly as possible. It will be second down and about 25 yards to go. Hill is going to be well, he was fixing to be brought down to the end zone, but he got the pass away at the last moment. Bobby Williams once again rushing Mike Hill unmercifully back there, and it's going to bring up third down and long yardage. They've got to go to their own 43-yard line, and the ball is back at their own 14. Third down and huge yardage, about 26 yards to go for the first down. Ruston totally dominating this football game now, and the clock is moving along with 9 minutes, 50 seconds left.
Another update from the Sulphur-Ouachita game, Bob. Sulphur just scored 21-7 is the score. Sulphur over Ouachita.
Unless the Lions come back, that will be one of the big surprises of the year here in this early 1990 season. Well, a running play gets the ball to the 15-yard line, and it's punting time for the Crimson Tide.
The scores that you might be interested in from Monroe: Sulphur 21, Ouachita 7 in the third quarter.
And the Crimson Tide will be punting from deep in their end of the playing field once again. Kenyon Cotton standing back on his own goal line. And Rodney Young back to receive the punt, standing at the Minden 47-yard line. A bad step, and it's going to be once again. And safety, he tried to get the pass away, and they're going to say it's going to be an incomplete pass. So Ruston will take the ball over as he tried to pass it. And Ruston will take over deep in Minden's end of the playing field around the 15-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 yards to go. So, Rick, another bad break for the Crimson Tide, but a big break for this Ruston offensive unit.
Indeed, with 9 minutes and 32 seconds to go, the clock running, Bearcats on top, 40-0. I just was thinking back, what was it, 2 years ago we went to Minden, or is it 3 years ago when they had people hanging in the trees? But the biggest crowd I've ever seen. Sammy Seamster, Arthur Shine.
Certainly nothing like this.
No, it wasn't at all. It was an incredible game.
Okay, Jamison Schultz is in at your quarterback now, and Schultz on a fumble, and Minden has recovered. He attempted a handoff to Danny Young, but they never made connection, and Minden has recovered at their 17-yard line. So Minden gets the ball right back and will put it in play. First down and 10 at their 17. Clock continuing to roll along here. We'll be through early tonight at James Stadium. 7:45 left in the third period. Ruston up by a score of 40-0. That was the halftime score also.
A moral victory for Minden would be to put points on the board. They don't obviously feel they can win it, but just get some points on the board, and that would be a moral victory for them.
Here they come to the line. Mike Hill, the quarterback. He's got a man split out to the left side and a wing on that left side also. And Mike Hill keeps the ball, pitches back at the last minute to his trailing halfback, Flournoy. And Flournoy is going to be knocked down across the way right around the line of scrimmage. Let's see, getting up over there, we see number 47. That's Kamichi Womack. And there we go. We get the card flipped over and we can find out who was out there. It's second down and about 9.5, close to 10 yards to go for the Minden Crimson Tide at their own 17.5-yard line. 6:45 left here in the third period. Ruston up 40-0 over Minden. Here come the Tides to the line. This time they split everybody out. He's got a lone setback behind him. 3 wide receivers out to this right side, 1 to the left. And Hill rolls to this near side. Hill is just going to take it and head out of bounds. And he's going to go out of bounds around the 14-yard line. He's going to lose yardage on that play. Over for Ruston was number 85. And that is Antonio Sims. It will bring third down and about 13, the ball at the 15-yard line. Also, Rowdy Yates was over there for Ruston, and also Chris Young. Third down and 13. 6 minutes to play in this third period. The clock continues to move along. No stopping it here in the second half. 40-0, the Bearcats over the Minden Crimson Tide. Here comes Minden up to the line on a third down, 13 from their own 15. This time, 3 wide receivers to the left side. Hill rolls that way, shoots the pass upfield. It's going to be incomplete across the way. Over defending for Ruston was Pat Harris. And it will be fourth down once again. Another punting situation for the Crimson Tide as Kenyon Cotton comes on to try to kick it away. Last time he couldn't get it away and just had to try and attempt to pass to keep from suffering a safety in the end zone.
And Bob, that's another one of those Mike Hill passes that were dropped. It got to the receiver. He's 1 out of 12 on the night, but he's probably had 9 of them hit his receiver's hands.
He has had a lot of passes tonight in his receiver's hands, and they couldn't hang on to it. Cotton gets a good snap from center. Big rush coming, and he gets a good punt away this time. And it's going to be fumble. Lowry gets the ball, though, and is going to be knocked down back at his 47-yard line. First down and 10 to go. Johnny Edwards on the stop, along with Jeff Chewy for the Minden Crimson Tide. It'll be first and 10 for the Ruston Bearcats at their 47-yard line. Up by a score of 40-0. And Schultz, Jamison Schultz, once again trots in as the quarterback. And we'll find out who he's got in that backfield with him. Probably William Alphonse is one of the running backs, and also Danny Young. And he's got a wide out to the right side. The ball on this near hash mark. He's also got a wing set to that right side. And Schultz pitches back to number 36, looking for running room over that left side. And that is William Alphonse up near midfield. I think maybe just short of midfield at about the 49-yard line. It'll be second down and about 7-8 yards to go.
And now we're starting to see the third unit in for the Ruston Bearcats as they lead 40-0 with our clock running here at James Stadium. The third unit for the Bearcats repeating now what we saw last year to get the game over and done with.
See Bruce Collier also out there. And here comes number 84 in motion to this near side. Running play over the left, and inside the Minden end of the playing field goes Danny Young down to near the 45-yard line. He'll be about 2 yards short of his first down. It'll bring up third down, couple of yards to go for the Ruston Bearcats. Up by a score of 40-0 over the Crimson Tide with 3 minutes coming up on the 3-minute mark here in the third period. Keep in mind the clock is just continuing to roll along here in this second half. There will be no stopping it here in this second half tonight. Third down, a couple of yards to go. Give it to Alphonse. He has got his first down yardage and more to the 40-yard line down near the 39 before Sheltrick Hill makes the stop for the Crimson Tide. It's first down and 10 yards to go at the 39-yard line of the Minden Crimson Tide as the Bearcats continue to roll along with this third unit guided by Jamison Schultz, a 6-foot, 175-pound junior. First and 10, here they come. 2.5 minutes to play in the third period. This time a wing to the right side, left end split out to this side. And give it off to Danny Young. Danny Young around that left side, right side, looking for blockers to the 35-yard line. Down near the 34 he goes. and it'll bring up second down and close to 5 yards to go at the 34-yard line of the Crimson Tide. Here comes number 22, DeAnthony Livingston, out of the ball game, and number 86 heads in for Ruston, and number 86 belongs to Larry Anderson.
Bob Randall just handed me a fifth straight 40-point game for the Bearcats going back to last year's semifinal. That's the most ever consecutive 40-point games for the Bearcats.
And on a second down and about 5, that's Alphonse, and he's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It'll bring up third down and about 5.5, maybe 6 yards to go for the Bearcats. On the stop for Minden was Sean Eddings at the 35-yard line. That's where the ball is laying on the football field, halfway between the hash marks. It'll be 3rd and 6 yards to go. 1:23 to play here in this third period. Bearcats rolling along, leading by a score of 40-0. Right in, split out, a wing to this left side. Give it to Alphonse over this left side. Good for a couple of yards down to around the 33-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and about 4 yards to go.
Another update from Monroe as Ouachita just scored. The score there is Sulphur 21, Ouachita 14. They're in the middle of the third period.
Well, looks like things are getting a little hot and heavy in Monroe right now over at Ouachita. Number 22, DeAnthony Livingston back in the game on this 4th down and 3. A wing to the left, a wide out to the right. Pitch it back to Alphonse. Alphonse coming across this left side. He's got his first down and more inside the 30-yard line down to around the 27-yard line. First down and 10, Bearcats at that point. Damian Flournoy on the stop for the Minden Crimson Tide. 1st and 10, Ruston at the 27-yard line of the Minden Crimson Tide. 15 seconds and counting left here in this third period of play. 40-0, the Bearcats over the Tide here at James Stadium tonight. Wing left, right end split out. And a handoff to Danny Young. Danny Young inside the 25 down to about the 21, 22-yard line, and that will end the third quarter here at James Stadium. After 3 periods, it's Ruston 40 and Minden nothing. You're listening to Bearcat football.
Back at James Stadium, we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter of tonight's contest. The score is the Bearcats 40, Minden Crimson Tide nothing, as we just wound down that third period rather rapidly there, Bob.
We've got 12 minutes to play in this football game, 12 minutes exactly, as a matter of fact, because the clock continues to run here in this second half. And here on a first down, give it to Alphonse, and Alphonse is over this right side down to about the 21-yard line. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 3. 3rd and about 3 for the Bearcats at the 21-yard line of the Minden Crimson Tide.
Statistics, Bob, through 3 periods, Bearcats have done 42 plays for 334 yards, whereas the Tide 27 plays for minus 14 yards.
Oh, my, that's what you call total domination for the Bearcats tonight. Right end split out to this near side of men in the slot to this side. Now head in motion to the left. And give it off to number 28, and that is Sterling Richards, and he's going to be around the 16-yard line, close to that Ruston first down. It is another Ruston Bearcat first down, and 10 yards to go. Up by a score of 40-0 to the 11-minute mark we come left in this football game.
Another glaring statistic is the first down through 3 periods. Bearcats have 20, whereas Minden 1, and that came on a penalty.
So Minden's offense has not been able to generate a first down all night.
No.
Oh, my. First down and 10 to go at the Minden 16-yard line for the Bearcats. Give it off to number 28 once again. Sterling Richards over that left side. He heads inside the 15-yard line and down to around the 14, maybe, to the 14-yard line of Minden, and that's where they'll put the ball in play and mark it at that point, at the 14 of the Crimson Tide.
Sterling Richards, coming into tonight's action, has attempted to carry 4 times for 26 yards, and he's getting some action here tonight to add to his offensive statistics.
Curtis Rice, incidentally, on the stop for the Crimson Tide. 2nd down and 7 yards to go at the Minden 14-yard line. And coming this right side this time, he breaks it to the 10, to the 5-yard line. Danny Young on the carry, and I think they'll mark it closer to the 4-yard line than they will the 5. That's where it is. But the 4, it is first down and goal to go Bearcats.
We saw Danny Young last week. He is a sophomore. A pair of sophomores in Chick Childress's backfield. William Alphonse, Danny Young, 170 pounds, 5'8". Break it through, gets it within the 5-yard line, and that brings up first and goal for the Bearcats.
And they are impressive-looking sophomores, they are. Alphonse and Danny Young. First and goal to go at the 4-yard line. Give it to Alphonse. Alphonse maybe to the 1-yard line before he's knocked back by Damian Flournoy. And it will bring up second down and goal to go at about the 1-yard line. Also, Jim Bob Garland on the stop for the Crimson Tide. Number 86 trots back onto the field for Ruston, and number 86 belongs to Larry Anderson, and number 17 coming off, that's Bruce Collier. Second and goal to go at about the 1.5-yard line of the Crimson Tide. 9 minutes to play in this football game, and it is a touchdown for Danny Young. Danny Young on the carry. Touchdown, Ruston. It is 46-0, and the clock continues to move along here at James Stadium. Ruston 46, and the Crimson Tide nothing, and the point after attempt coming up.
And we're going to see Larry Anderson, I believe, out there or to try the point after. Michael Metzger is getting a break. It is number 86.
Yeah, Larry Anderson and John Carr will hold. Wait the snap from center, and it's placed, it's kicked, it's up, and it looks good. From here, it is good. 9 minutes, 20 seconds to play. Ruston 47, Minden nothing. You're listening to Bearcat Football.
13 seconds to play in tonight's game, and no, we have 7 minutes and 10 seconds to play. No, we have 7 minutes and it's 47-0 with the Bearcats scoring. Here's the kickoff.
And it sails downfield, comes to the side. It's fumbled around by... and he breaks it away. Let's see, he's into the clear. This is Stepfred Williams, and he is across midfield. I was trying to figure out who it was. Stepfred Williams finally got a hold of it. And heading down that far sideline, inside Ruston's end of the playing field at the 48-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 yards to go. And the best field position of the night as far as starting a drive for the Minden Crimson Tide, with the clock continuing to roll along. 6:30 to play in this football game. 47-0. The Bearcats over the Crimson Tide from Minden.
And, Bob, that was the longest play drive of the Bearcats thus far tonight. It took 14 plays to go 53 yards. Danny Young 1-yard run. Larry Anderson was good on the field goal. The extra point, 47-0 is the score.
Left end split out to this side. Man in motion, flags go down. Hill puts the pass downfield right in and out of the hands of Gary Giles. And once again, Rick, as we have said so many times tonight, there was another example of it. Pass from Mike Hill into the receiver's hands and out.
And it looks like offsides against the Bearcats for the cause of the penalty.
5:45 to play in this football game. 5 yards stepped off against Ruston. It'll be first down and 5 yards to go for the Crimson Tide from Minden. The ball moved to the 43-yard line of the Bearcats. And about the only thing left now for Minden to do will be try and put some points on the board. Only 7 points has been scored against Ruston so far this year, and that followed a block punt last Friday night in Jonesboro. They have outscored their opponents so far now 200-7. Hill dropping back, Hill being rushed. Hill puts the pass up. It's going to be incomplete out to this left flat. It was intended for, I believe that is that Harrison? And we also got a player down, and we've got flags down also. I think no flags, but just player down. But timeout, and we'll take a break. You're listening to Bearcat Football. We got roughing the passer.
To nothing with 4 minutes and 12 seconds to play, and it is the quarterback who is down, Mike Hill, for the Minden Crimson Tide. He took a vicious hit from the defense of the Bearcats, and now they're gingerly getting him up. He is on his feet. Good sign. Mike Hill literally had his bell rung, and there was a penalty on that play for roughing the passer. So now the Minden Crimson Tide have the best field position they've had all night, Bob.
4 minutes and 12 seconds left in this football game, and this will be their opportunity to put some points on the board now. David Burns is your new quarterback for the Crimson Tide, and here they come to the line, at the Ruston 28-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. Burns turns and gives it off, and he's going to be knocked down. That, I believe, was Sean Eddings on the carry. Is that who that was? Okay, it will be second down and about 9 yards to go, maybe a gain of a yard. Pat Harris on the stop, along with Kamichi Womack for the Ruston Bearcats. Incidentally, most of that number 1 defensive unit is back in now for the Bearcats to give them a little work here in this second half, and also to try to keep the Crimson Tide out of that end zone.
And you happen to be David Burns, a sophomore, facing against Mr. Houston and company out there. I don't know.
And Bobby Williams and all of that big bruising gang. It's not a good sight to look over that line and see those fellows there. And everybody jumps now. We've got flags flying. And we've got 3:13 to play here in this football game. 47-0, the Bearcats over the Crimson Tide of Minden. And let's see what we'll have. Apparently it will go against the Crimson Tide. They're talking to the Ruston captains at the moment. We had flags all over the field. And let's see what we will have. Here's the motion from the official, and they're going to wave it off. That's the illegal procedure against Minden, offsides against Ruston, so offsetting penalties. We'll do it again. Second down and 9 yards to go. The ball at the Ruston 27-yard line. Here comes the Tide, heading to the 2.5-minute mark left in this football game as the clock has continued just to roll along here in this second half. And Hill is back in at quarterback, by the way, and here's a handoff to Florida. He is going nowhere. Got to be knocked down back outside the 30-yard line at around the 33-yard line, as this stadium is emptying in a hurry right now. Kamichi Womack, Brian Houston, all their playmates were there, and that was Gary Giles, by the way, on the carry. And Burns is back in now. Mike Hill goes back out at the quarterback spot. Rowdy Yates coming into the ball game, and Kamichi Womack coming out for the Bearcats. It is third down and 13 yards to go. The ball at the Ruston 33-yard line. 1:50 seconds left in this football game. From an I formation this time. Left end split out to this near side and give it off to the fullback. First man through, and he's got yardage, but he's going to come up short of a first down around the 23-yard line. Now McKenzie on the carry for Minden, and several of the Ruston Bearcats were back there. Michael Thompson and also Pat Harris, number 46, back for this Ruston defense. Fourth down and about 3 yards to go with 1:20 left to play in this football game. And this looks like it may be the final straw, the last gasp for air for this Crimson Tide offense to try and get some points on the board here against the Ruston Bearcats tonight. Here comes Minden on a 4th down and 3. Burns, the quarterback. Burns gives it to Burns gives it to the first man through. Thought he had pulled it out and was going to give it to the second man, but he is going to be knocked down at any rate for loss of yardage. Rowdy Yates and also Terrence Hicks is there for that Ruston group, and they'll take over first down and 10 yards to go at their own 21-yard line. With 40 seconds left in this football game, Ruston has come in tonight and totally dominated the Minden Crimson Tide. And with the clock running continually here in this second half, only 24 minutes of football we actually played here in this second half. They are going to win it by a score of 47-0, and we'll have time for one more play. Schultz is in at the quarterback from a full house backfield. Schultz just takes it, drops to one knee, and this ball game is going to be over. Ruston will go to 4-0 on the year as they have totally dominated the Minden Crimson Tide, very much outmanned here tonight by a score of 47-0. That's our final. Ruston 47, Minden nothing. Now we'll take a break for 2 minutes, and we'll come back for all the final stats and comments on this big win by the Ruston Bearcats, the number 1 team in the state, over the Crimson Tide tonight. Let's take a break for 2 minutes. You're listening to Bearcat Football.